asked everybody on the panel, and I'm dying to hear this too. Malik Scott and Deontay Wilder, should they go forward or should it end here?
I think so, man. I mean, because honestly, you've only had one fight under your belt. You had an abnormally long training camp. That shouldn't happen again. You shouldn't be in that situation again. Now you have it's just like playing football, right? You go out there and you get a loss, and then you know what I'm saying, or even in a winning effort, you can go to the go sit in the room and watch film, and you looking at yourself. You're not just looking at, you know what I'm saying, and look, not, you know, I know they could have looked at Wilder versus Fury before, but Malik wasn't involved in that fight of this magnitude on that what's the word I'm looking for, to that extent. So now they can assess Malik Scott and Deontay Wilder.
They can get a full. Now he's been in full competition. Right. He fought a good fighter, and he's seen how Wilder operates in certain situations under his tutelage. So you think that on the next time around that they should definitely be better?
Right. They have a body of work to study of themselves working together and say, this is what we need to work on differently. This is where we had a disconnect. This is what I was trying to get you to do in this situation, and this is what you went out there and done. And if I'm asking you for this, you know, I don't want to see this. You know, you get what I'm saying? So, and I also feel like they also can look at, okay, these are things we did in camp. These are things we did in terms of nutrition and things of that nature. And this is what the result yielded. So these are things we probably want to change going forward. And they won't be fighting the best. They won't be fighting the best heavyweight in the next fight. So there is a more margin for error.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? It could be a more margin for error to go in there and say, hey, look, let's try this and see how it works. We even if we're wrong, we can get away with it against this guy.
Yes. And
then we can learn from it, and let's tweak it going forward. So I like Malik Scott. I think they have a good synergy between each other. I think that they're good for one another. And I also, one thing I like, you know, so I like humility in people, right? So I watched the interview where Malik Scott was doing an interview after the fight about 5 a.m, and he was emphasizing how important it was to him and how touched he was that Deontay Wilder had so much belief in him, and the amount of trust that Deontay Wilder had for him. And I feel like that's not going to be lost on him going forward if they stay together.
It's going to want to make him better. He's going to want to make himself better by Wilder motivating him to be better.
Right. He's going to want to do everything in his power to yield the results, because at the end of the day, that's like, you know, a football team. You can go out there and throw for 500 yards, have a quarterback throw for 550, and you lose the game. You can hang your hat on that 550 and build on it going forward. But at the end result was you lost the game. Right. So now how do we get over that hurdle? Maybe we don't need to throw for 550. We just need to get a win. But let's figure out how, in getting to that 550, we did things that we need to continue to get to the win. But there's some other things that we may need to deviate away from to get us to that win, or build upon. So I like it. I like I like them as a team. I think that they can do some great things together. I mean, it's a shame that Wilder's 35, I think 35 or 36 at this point. 37. So they don't have but so much time left. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? But the plus is that we seen heavyweights go to 40 and still be, I mean, like I think Vladimir's reign ended, he was 41 years old. Right. Maybe 40. You know, when he finally lost for the second time, years after he had, you know, his last defeat. Yeah. And you know, and then I mean his decline was steady. It wasn't, he didn't fall off a cliff. Right. It you know, he declined very slowly. Yeah. If you look at Vitaly, you know, he went out pretty much on top, you know what I'm saying? Other than his brother. His last couple fights, man, he really, you know, he worked some guys over. I mean, you look at what he did to Shannon Briggs, it was you know, so with that said, the heavyweights are a little different than the welterweights and things like that. You know, these guys can still be at the top of their, you know, later in their years, late in their career. Yeah. Yep. So